lesson, just quickly how to take your frame drawing and then go ahead and create a nice line drawing, and then you can finish it in ink. My eyes are bad for this video, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw right over this line drawing, but you can go ahead and put another piece of tracing paper or marker and then go over it with ink. This way you'll have a nice clean drawing. So a couple things I wanted to point out to you is that I followed the lines of perspective, so all lines are either vertical or go to the left vanishing point or the right vanishing point. You're going to want to make sure that you keep those there so that you can go back and use those. For the chandelier, I just found the halfway point of the headboard, went up straight, and from the left vanishing point over, and I found where I wanted to place that in the room. I then drew a vertical line down and took a horizontal line to the left vanishing point and a horizontal right line to the right vanishing point, and kind of created that modern type of light fixture. So that's what's there. Pretty straightforward and simple now, going over it with ink. So let's see, a couple other things is slightly changed the bench, just made it a wood, that a metal will come down to the side, return back, and then go over, return down, go back, and then return up. The lines go to the left vanishing point here, and then just this little space on the foot on both sides goes to the right vanishing point. You can make your windows a lot deeper if you want. For just the video, I'm just going to make them real simple, and then I'll turn in the final line drawing. I feel like my drapery panel got a bit skew, so I'm going to take the vertical straight edge and come down. And so what you're going to notice today is I'm just going to do basically the punch lines so that you can see the drawing. Then I'll finish up the detail, scan it, and submit it for you. So just so you can see the punch lines. This is a grid pattern that the designers painted on the back wall, probably just with some masking tape and some black paint to create this grid pattern. I just did 2.5 by 2.5 and followed that along. Remember that the ceiling planes went on this side to the right vanishing point and on this side to the left vanishing point. So we can do that, put a nice ceiling in. Here's a rod. Tops of the windows. Bottom of the windows. These are called clear story windows or transom windows when they're above the first set of doors and windows. This goes to the right vanishing point. My straight edge isn't quite long enough, so I'll go over with my marker. top of the headboard goes to the right vanishing point. I added a little bit of thickness to my headboard. There. The suggestions of tufting. Going across, I'm going to just do some free lines for my pillows. For the shams. For the accent pillow. Right? You can, if you want to be a little softer for the turn down, you can just do a slight curve across and over. In the inspiration photo, it's tucked in the corners, so you can just make that a little softer so that we have the variety of contour soft lines, right? And then harder lines. So I'm just going to turn this and make my turn down a little softer. I have my base of the wall. Maybe I do a hit, go hit, professional gap for the bed. These are sheets. We have the base and where everything tucks in. So there's your bed. There's my ceiling. Again, I just took a vertical line down. Something like that to make a chandelier. I'm using, you don't have to use a template, but you know, circle templates are kind of fun. There are those points that the metal frame hit some of those. So you can play around with that. Notice at the top of the lampshades go to the right vanishing point and they're at the same height. We want to make sure that that stays true, and they do, as does the bottom. You're going to see just a little bit of the tops of the shades. You can play around with that. Make sure I get my area rug. And then you can add some details to your area rug. Goes back to the vanishing point, or follows the grid. Almost done. So take a look at the nightstand. The nightstand has a solid drawer, and then it has an opening. And in the opening, you're going to see where this corner comes down in the back. And then it returns to the front, and then it goes to this vanishing point on the right. So this part is open, so you're seeing an open shelf. And then on the bottom, in our inspiration photo, the bottom was metal. And then so the bottom piece is metal. There typically is a little bit of thickness around the edges of that nightstand, and we'll put that in. For now, I'll just punch out the edges. This looks strange, but it's correct because it's right on that vanishing point. Finish that up with a smaller pen. Almost done. You can see that there's a bit of a landing outside that goes to the right vanishing point. That's the floor, and then if you want to draw in some rails, you can draw in some rails. Back there. If there was tile, remember that it would follow the lines of perspective, so it would come out this way. Going to be a little bit above that, the base of the bed. It's going to have a shadow underneath it. So if you wanted to, now that I've done this drawing, I could put yet another piece of paper over this and redraw it again. And you might want to do that. So I've gone, I'm doing this quick in a few minutes and maybe made a couple boo-boos here and there. But you can go ahead and put another piece of tracing paper over this. I see a lot of you do that, make multiple efforts, and you have positive results from your efforts when you do that. So bring in some wood, bring in some extra texture at your leisure. You're starting to develop your own style. When you're all done, it's nice to have a border. Around the edges. And there you go. I still need to add some depth to the doors and the windows. I'll do that and turn that into you. Do some final things. But that's about all. And there you have your first 2-point perspective. Again, I just used one Papermate flare so that you can see in a video my drawing process better. But more professional drawings, I would have multiple line drawings. multiple line weights, multiple pens.